Hello, John. Welcome back to the studio.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good. So you are our elite product manager or product manager for elite. Do you prefer one or the other?
No, I don't.
Okay, but
I'll answer to either.
elite product manager sounds cooler because you're like the top of the top.
There you go. I like that too.
Okay, so what happened with elite in Q2 of this year?
So, like always, we did a lot of work, delivered a lot of value and functionality to all the elite users. On the top of that list, I would say from a like present in the UI that people can start using right away is if you have outside sales reps. We created a whole sales rep feature where you can set goals for them throughout the year by month for both rental and sales. And then we have a widget on the CRM dashboards that measures their actual performance to their goals. And so at a glance, you can see how they're doing with their actual revenue, but it also gives you an insight into probable revenue, which is reservations and quotes.
Okay.
And then with .8, which is releasing tonight, you'll be able to double click on those in the graph, and it'll show you the contracts that are making up that total value. So you could show the quotes if you want, and double click on it, and then that's kind of a to-do list for that sales rep to go, hey, go close those quotes, and you'll meet your goal for the month. So it's pretty cool.
That's good.
And then, like always, we're doing a ton of Innovate ideas. Top of the list this last quarter, releasing soon. One is assigned to. So that's a feature in an elite contract where a user can be assigned to a contract. So it can help them know to manage it and oversee it and stay on top of it. And what people have been asking for is a way to auto-assign that field rather than somebody having to remember to go set themselves or somebody else to that field. You can now set up a requirement that will just auto-assign it to the person writing the contract or require it to be completed.
Yeah.
So that's a highly voted idea that we've finally released. And then another one that people have been wanting for a very long time that we finally started to make some progress on is to show the day of the week in our dates.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea was that people wanted the day of the week everywhere in the application.
Yeah.
What we've decided to do is initially do it in day at a glance, which is where most people live on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis in Elite is in day at a glance. So now we're showing the days of the week along with the date. So
good, because I always get my dates confused as well. It's like, okay, I don't know what July 7th is going to be.
Yeah. So it's nice to know, oh, that's a Tuesday. Yeah.
Don't check that because I don't think we looked.
No, we didn't.
Okay, is there anything else, or are those our three highlights?
I'd say those are the main things. We've also been working, Elite Cloud is a new product for us. So we now have Elite on an AWS cloud environment. So it's fully cloud. You can run the full Elite application from a browser.
Cool.
And we've been now also doing a lot of work, and we have some work to be done to help the experience for those users. Because coming from an on-prem server environment to a cloud environment, there's just certain things that you just can't do in a cloud environment that you can do when you have full access to the server. And so things like file exchanges, some printer management, and some of the performance issues. And so we've been, us and some other teams actually have been working really hard to improve that cloud performance and the experience to give the users some of those on-prem-like experiences, but from a cloud instance. So I think all of our cloud users are going to be very happy with those changes.
Good. We don't want the cloud people to feel like they're at a disadvantage now.
Yeah, they should be on cloud 9.
Exactly. There we go. You should be a marketer now. Okay, so again, before you answer this question, we'll preface it with these are best guesses rather than firm commitments. But is there anything that you're excited about that should be dropping next quarter in Elite?
In the next quarter, so one of our big focuses for the remainder of 2023 and maybe even a little bit into 2024 is around item availability. What we've been hearing from our customers is that their fleets are very highly utilized, which means everything's out on rent. Another customer calls, they want something. It's it's challenging to find out which one is available next, and when, which one is it, and where is it, and when's that going to happen. And so some insight into availability. But it's not just for that, but it's also just lots of things around availability. So that's our big focus for 2023 in Elite, is to build some better availability functionality. One of those things is something called item options. And this came out of our international conference last year in 2022. And we're looking to build that in this next quarter. And item options is really, it's about attributes for a piece of equipment. So a customer is calling and they have a specific job to do, and they need a specific piece of equipment with specific attributes or options to it. For instance, they might be working indoors, and so they need electric or battery, something like that. And so, or they might need non-marking tires, or they might need a certain attachment on an excavator. And so today we don't really have a great way to handle for that. But this item options feature will allow them to assign options to that serialized item, and then they'll be able to filter on those. And so they'll be able to filter on the not just the item, the header level item they want, but the specific item, serialized item that has the options that customer needs to get their job done. So it's going to be a really cool feature.
Yeah. So if someone's doing like an inside job and they need that electric, you're not suggesting like, hey, here's a
you're not going to give them a
one
diesel one to run indoors, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So because you might have multiple items in a header that have different options on them, and so, and that's typically what people do. All of my 7,000 pound excavators are in the same header. Some of them have different attachments on the digging arm. Some of them have just different features, enclosed cabs, non-enclosed cabs, things like that.
Okay, cool. All right. Now there's always a third question, which is we're just getting to know people a little better. So John, would you like to be famous? And if so, in what way?
No, I'm good. I think I don't need to be famous. I don't have a desire to be famous. I would rather live anonymously amongst other anonymous people.
Okay. I'm glad you're making all the other people anonymous as well. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me this quarter, and I look forward to seeing you in another 3 months or so.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.